What the is happening in the Toronto housing market? Good question. There's lots to talk about. Namely, the Bank of Canada held rates contrary to the talk about them increasing rates by 25 basis points. The average price of Toronto homes went down for the third month in a row. And now we're in the fall market where traditionally activity increases after the slower summer months. However, inventory seems to be growing, which the lack thereof has been a major driver of real estate prices recently. So will there be enough buyer demand to match the growing inventory? Well, to give you some perspective, about 70% of sales annually happen in the first half of the year. So yes, the fall market tends to pick up after the summer, but there are still less sales that happen in general in the second half of the year. And it's a short season as people will start to think about Christmas in the near future. I know, don't bring it up already, but it's the reality. Hey guys, if you're new to my channel, my name is Morgan Little. I'm a realtor here in the Toronto area who makes videos like this one. So if you enjoy this type of content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Or if you'd like to chat directly, you can book a call with me using the link in the description. Okay, let's talk about it. So let's look at the average sale price in Toronto in August. For detached homes, it was $1,635,145, which is down less than 1% year over year. Semi-detached averages were at $1.235 million, which is up 9.5%, so that's a solid jump from last year. Townhomes were at $971,000, up 6.2%, a pretty solid jump there as well. And the average price for condos in Toronto in August 2023 was almost $725,000, down nearly 2% from the same time last year. Now, if we're looking at the surrounding area here under the 905, the average detached home was $1.362 million, which is up almost 4% from last year. The semis averaged out at $993,000, jumping up 5.4% from 2022. While townhomes in the 905 were just under that at $925,000, which is up 3.1%, and condos came in at the unlucky number of $666,000, up 1.6% from 2022. So looking at both of these here, you see that the 905 numbers are, as to be expected, a bit lower than the Toronto 416 numbers. However, as you can see, each of those categories are up from last year. And you can see how that affects the overall totals across the Toronto board, where the 905 increases brought up the total increases in each category. Nothing too significant, but it's interesting to see. Now, I've mentioned this a few times. It appears that May was the peak of the market, and we've seen the average price go down month over month since then. That being said, the average price across the Toronto board in January 2023 was $1,038,668, and now it sits at $1,082,496. So that is definitely still up from the start of the year, even though it's down 3.2% from July. Will we see this trend continue to move downwards? Only time can tell, and there are a few factors that will contribute to that. Like I said, we are now in the fall market. The kids are back at school, people are back from the cottage, even though I'm at the cottage right now, and people are thinking about real estate again, which should produce more active buyers. But what's going to happen with rates in October? We shall see. This will definitely impact people's decisions. There's a bit of a tug of war happening. And then you have reports of people defaulting on mortgages and having to fire sale their homes because they can no longer afford them after the rate increases if they've had variable mortgages. If we do indeed see more of this, then that may be a factor as well. This also includes investor-owned properties, which may come with tenants, which presents its own set of problems. All this is to say that it really depends on the asset class that you're interested in buying or selling. We're talking overall numbers here, but there are definite nuances within each segment. If you'd like to discuss your personal scenario, as always, feel free to book a call using the Calendly link in the description below, and I'd be happy to discuss your options. Till then, stay well and stay hungry.